Yeah, she fucking up the rap game, and she don't even rap.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 2 of Sense.
Welcome back, guys.
I'm Branden.
I'm Juno.
First off, let me just say, Happy Black History Month, everybody.
Yes, happy Black History Month.
So make sure you hit me with some like facts or something I didn't know before, because I'm gonna hit y'all with something later on in the episode that I bet you didn't know about some black excellence.
Black excellence.
So let's just kick it right off with this.
Okay, then.
With this. So this question that I've been thinking about, it was really, really big last year, right? It was really, really important that everybody was talking about it, and especially since the R. Kelly documentary came out last year.
R. Kelly, oh my god.
Shit like that, and it was a lot, but
I saw that.
Yeah.
I know you guys watched that at home, that R. Kelly documentary. It was not good. Okay, I was hurt for them girls. I felt bad for them.
I don't know anybody who would call themselves a decent person who would like disagree with that. Like, I mean, but my point is that I've been thinking about like what it means to how I can appreciate an artist's body of work, even though they did something horrible. Like, I think for me personally, it depends on what you did. Are you actually sorry about it? Have you grown from it? Do you understand why what you did was like wrong or fucked up? Like, do you understand why that shouldn't be happening in today's climate? Like, can I still listen to an artist and then not support them, which is like kind of impossible now, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of impossible because everything is based on like the money and the views and how many listens they get and stuff like that, because it matters about, you know, mainly with Spotify, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Well, Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, stuff like that, like they get money for every certain amount of listens that they get. So like, I'm gonna ask you, what do you feel about like separating the artist from the work?
Honestly, I feel like it can be done. I personally feel like we have to separate the artist from the art because, like, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, R. Kelly, people still fucking love R. Kelly, no matter what they think about him. If he's a pedophile, that he urinated on that girl, that he married Aaliyah, people are still listening to his bump and grind song, like We Are Not Stupid. Mm-hmm. People love that song. It was just featured in Project X in 2012, but some allegations had came out about that man years before 2012, but nobody said anything when right. But nobody said anything when that song was featured in Project X in 2012. Costa was, I know you guys remember the scene, like that was crazy to me. But personally, I feel like you can separate it, because look at Chris Brown. Like, he hit Rihanna. Everybody knows that Chris Brown hit Rihanna, but people are still in the club listening to I Can Transform Ya, doing the robot and shit. Niggas still love him. I don't care what anybody says. It can be done. Like, I know you got a good point. You're looking at me crazy right now.
No. I'm not looking at you crazy. I'm really more just like I'm just thinking about it now, because like some of the stuff that like these guys do and then we just forget about it, you know what I mean? Because like
push it under the rug even.
Well, that's the thing, we live in the hour of the 24-hour news cycle. We live in the age of that stuff, so it's like everything I hear about this person within 24 hours I'll hear something 80 times worse about somebody else. And so I'm just like, I'm reading this fucked up article about R. Kelly while I'm bumping fucking Chris Brown in the background. I'm like, shit, man, this motherfucker crazy.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow I'll be I don't know. I think that it's important that as long as the person is able to look at what they did and they are able to
feel remorseful about it, and if they feel remorseful, does that still make them like a good person? I'm not gonna
talk about their character.
I just want to know.
I'm not gonna say like just because you felt bad about it means your character is good, but I'm gonna let you off. I'm gonna still bump your shit if like you've paid for what you did. You know what I mean? Like, if it's something negative and like illegal, like R. Kelly and Chris Brown, like if it's fucked up to that level, then like if you paid for that and you've like and you at least understand. Now that nigga R. Kelly, I can't speak to that shit, but that interview showed me that motherfucker don't feel sorry. So
I mean,
that's a different story completely.
Gayle King, he felt sorry then.
Y'all killing me.
He was really like screaming. He was hurt.
Nah,
but
he ain't sorry for that shit.
I don't think he was very remorseful at all, to tell you the truth. If we're really gonna talk about R. Kelly, honestly, I think that a lot of people are still gonna be angry over everything, all the allegations that they heard about this man. But at the end of the day, we can't lie. His art is still good. Am I going to be like, okay, yeah, R. Kelly did this, but am I going to deny that his art is good? And I feel like a lot of people have a hard time understanding that just because this person did this, like, does that make their art does it have any less value? Like, impact, because of that, yeah. Right. So let me ask you this question that I've been thinking about. I don't know if you know anything about Steve Jobs, or if anybody out there knows anything about him, because other than he created the iPhone. But have you heard of anything on Steve Jobs before? Any type of personality traits that he had?
I watched the movie that Ashton Kutcher did, where he did the biopic of him, and like, he was a shitty parent. I know that. I know he wasn't like a great parent to his daughter, and he like was absent for a lot of her life, or not emotionally available, or whatever the case is. I'm not sure. I don't remember the biopic that well, but I know that he was a man. He was a person. He was a human, and he made mistakes. But I still got an iPhone in my pocket right now.
Steve Jobs was fucked up. Like, he was so fucked up to the point where he was really shitty to his employees. Like, I've read like so much. People have said things that people have said about him, his employees have said about him, that actually genuinely knew him in documentaries and things like that. And it's crazy because, like, are we going to say that even though Steve Jobs was fucked up as a person, did he not pave the way for the smartphone industry? But he was a fucked up person. Yeah. But did he not do something like of value? Yeah. Did he not leave something of value in this world that people can appreciate today?
I see where you're going.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So and we can use that in the music industry. Chris Brown and Rihanna, they have a great relationship now. Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't know if they're on speaking terms, but she's forgiven him. Not. She's moved on. They've made music after it. So I think at the end of the day, she separated that shit. She made
bread,
music though.
She separated it for the bread though. You feel me? Like, it had to be. I would say, I can't speak for Rihanna, but if I was in her shoes, it would be, I know I make a lot of bread when I make a song with this dude. I know I get a lot of, I know I can put this on the radio. This will be on the radio for weeks, months. You feel me? So
I feel that though.
I think I want to talk about what you were saying earlier, because like, there's a duality to it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? There's a duality to it. You have to, on the one hand, you do have to look at the person. You have to look at what they did and who you're listening to, and you have to understand that it was negative or bad, or you have your own opinion on it. But like you said, also at the same time, you cannot subtract the significance of what they created. You know what I mean? Like, that's still important. That's still what got played for a lot of our childhood. Exactly. You know what I mean? Right. Like, we were hearing that at fucking barbecues and shit like that. And
our parents were jamming. They was twerking back in the day.
Possibly
they
loved it. Us to a couple of that nigga's songs.
Maybe babies were made. I don't deny that babies were made. Right. In that room. But when R. Kelly came on, I'm just saying, like, does good art justify the person?
No. It doesn't justify. I don't think, my opinion, I don't think it justifies the person, but I think that the art speaks for itself. I think the art of what you did, when I'm speaking about this now, currently, the most current instance of us as a group having to try and separate the artist from his work is with Kanye. Right. You know what I mean? So like, that's who I speak of currently, is separating him from his work. Did I bump the last Kanye album? Yes, I did. I felt very holy. I loved it. It was a good album. Niggas can hate. Anthony Fantano gave it a shit score, but I don't care. So my point is that, like, I still can appreciate his body of work. I do not agree with the things that man has said in regards to Chicago, in regards to his opinion on the president and everything. I mean, because that nigga don't know shit.
He worships Donald Trump. Like, come on now. I'm still gonna bump Kanye. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Like, if Kanye comes on the radio, I'm gonna turn that shit up loud and fucking clear for everybody to hear. I'm sorry, but hey, I that's just me. That's just my opinion, and I know a lot of people out there won't like fuck with that opinion. But you know, that's just where I'm at.
I'm gonna still listen to it. But here's the thing: the moment that man starts like sending money to like Trump rallies, That's when I gotta be like, all right, nah.
Right. Then
Like,
there's
what
an
are you
issue.
using because essentially it's my time, my money I gave you to support you. Are you supporting some fucking fascist dickhead
Right.
so that I can listen to your fucking albums? Like, nah, I can't support that. So that's why I can't condone the things that an artist may do. Like, artists will always do shit that I don't agree. I listened to Ozzy Osbourne when I was growing. I don't bite the heads off of bats.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not me. Like, I don't agree with that. Like, there are certain things that artists do because they're people. They'll do things that I disagree with.
Right. Like, we have to realize that artists are still human, you know?
Mhm.
Like, Kevin Hart cheated on his wife. He's an artist in a different way, but I
Yeah.
still think that man is funny as hell.
Mhm.
Personally, I think he makes people laugh. People love him. People will go to a Kevin Hart show and not think twice about him cheating on his beautiful wife and having a baby on the way. I'm not going to think about that. I'm just going to think about how funny Kevin Hart is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's this like pedestal that we put people on. You know what I mean? That's the pedestal that we put these artists on, is because they're so incredible at their work. They're very, very talented people at the end of the day. You cannot deny that.
Right.
But we put them on this pedestal and we look at them as somebody that, oh, I should model myself after.
Should
this
be a
person.
pillar of the community or some
Right.
shit. That's not
That you
realistic.
can't, no, you can try and hold them to that standard, and that's fair because a lot of people listen to them and listen to what they say and their opinions, and that's fair that you might want to do that. But at the end of the day, you can't be disappointed when they fuck up.
Right.
Like, you can't really be all that like, oh my gosh, really? Like, I didn't know that Kanye supported Trump. No, I'm not surprised when that nigga does some out of pocket
Right.
shit. It's Kanye. So like, my whole opinion on it, like, I will bump Kanye, like I said, until that nigga starts sending money to support Donald Trump rallies and shit like that. I will bump his music and I will enjoy it. all right?
Enjoy it. And,
So, like-
and still fuck with it heavy, you know? Because
Right.
why not? I mean, hey, at the end of the day, there's been so many different people, even like back in the day, like Ike and Tina. People know that Ike was an abuser. They still love that man. That's just where I'm at on this topic, because I feel like if we try to basically, if we try to just like not separate the artist from their art, I feel like there's just so many inconsistencies with that.
Yeah.
And that's something that I just don't believe in, inconsistency, because it's like, how can you not think Kevin Durant is a great basketball player? He might be a shitty person, but hey, he plays really fucking good. Like, am I gonna hate him for that? No.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I think you, like you said, you have to separate them from
Right.
from their body of work, because it just comes back to that, like, putting them on a pedestal. Because if you don't, then you're expecting some kind of like ultra excellence out of this person who is just a person the same as you are. They are better at something than you are, most likely. That's why they're in the spot they are. But they're same person. They are going through shit just as much as you are. They are going through their own mental battles and everything like that. And so the way they handle it and the things that they do because of that, I'm not saying it absolves them from anything bad that they've done, but I'm saying that they also have these things that they are fighting just as much as we are.
Right. And then, like, I don't know if you guys remember that big controversy with A$AP Rocky being stuck in jail in another country, and he was trying to be like, I'm not black. I'm just, I'm not affiliated with black culture or anything like that. And I'm like, nigga, you black. I don't care what nobody say.
That's how you got all your bread. What the fuck are you talking about?
But people,
you're fucking smoking dick, bro. Like,
people love A$AP.
that was wild, man.
I still bump A$AP after that. I personally felt like him saying like he wasn't part of the black community was very shitty.
It was tone deaf.
It was just weird. It was just weird. Like, come on now. Like, don't forget your roots and where you came from. I know that you're this big star now, and I know that you're this big artist, but always remember the little people.
You are making your money from a genre of music that is created by black people. 100%. That is a cultural and historical fact.
Right.
All right? That was created by black people, and you are making all your money off that, and you're going to sit there and fucking lie and say some dumb tone deaf bullshit that you are not a part of the black culture. You're
just like that was just weird to me.
leave them white bitches alone, man. You fucking up, dog.
Oh my god. We don't discriminate. We don't discriminate.
I'm sorry,
on this
but that's
show.
just real.
But
like, that's just...
at the end of the day, just to kind of, really go back into it, I think separating the art from the artist is something that we have to do. We have to remember that these people are human, that they have lives, they have emotions and feelings, and people are not perfect and people fuck up. And I think this is like honestly one of the best topics I could talk about today. And I don't know if you're ready, but I am so ready to hear from the people out there what you guys are thinking on this topic. Leave your comments below, we will answer them. We'll try to reply, you know.
We can try. We can try.
But yeah, I definitely, so today I know that you're excited. I don't know.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
I'm just really excited right now.
Yeah, no, I'm really trying to see. I'm so excited to hear what EJ has to say about this. We got EJ in the studio with us today.
Yep.
He is going to answer some questions. We're gonna go ahead and ask him some questions and try and figure out his position on this subject right now, actually, and try and get his opinion on it. And then afterwards, we got a really, really big treat for you guys. We're gonna go ahead and have him perform for you.
Yep, we're super excited. And yeah, just get ready for EJ.
I'm the man with the power. No, you can't touch my dread. Don't know you bow. I'm getting money over here. Sipping on a bottle. Tell me what you're drinking.
All right, guys. So we have EJ all day in the building.
All day, man. What up?
Hey. So I just want to start off by EJ. Where are you from originally?
Born in St. Louis, Missouri. Moved out to Phoenix when I was 9. Want to say Happy Black History Month real quick.
Happy Black History
Happy Black History Month.
Feels good.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, but yeah, basically grew up out here, Phoenix, AZ. Been out here since 1999. So
Okay, so you've been here
Word.
a minute. You a
yeah,
native?
yeah, I'm over it. You know what I'm saying? So like, we'll see where I end up. You know, maybe LA for music, it's networking and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good place to go.
You know,
greener pastures and whatnot.
Definitely.
You feel me?
I love
So,
LA.
like,
just to meet people and get tired of Arizona summers.
Right.
To
It
be
gets
honest with
hot.
y'all, I'm tired of Arizona summers. Like
Yeah.
Yes, it's too hot out here.
too hot. Yeah,
It's
get
literally
used to it.
not even spring yet, and it's already starting to like get like.
a little bit to
Yeah, it's got a
Right.
little bit of that sauce to it. You feel me? I'm just like I'll be at work and I'll just be oh god,
Mm.
all right.
Black people and hot weather do not mix.
No,
FYI.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Because
You
my
know.
beat just lets off in the summer. I just can't do it no more. And just, it's not good for me.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing music?
I made my first. Well, my dad put me on the saxophone when I was like 5th or 6th grade.
Oh, wow. So you play sax.
I started off on saxophone, and then I grew up in church, so I was in the choir, so I sang in choir, and then I was a church drummer for like 6 years.
Wow.
And so originally I just wanted to be a pastor at one point, and like a pro drummer at one point, and then I didn't even start rapping until like after all that. And
Oh,
then,
wow.
One of my homies introduced me. I think it was like Outcasts or Biggie and Nas, Tribe Called Quest. I just listened to all of them. I was like, damn, like I think it was Biggie or Outkast. I was like, damn, I want to rap. Like that's what's up.
Hell yeah, that's
Yeah.
fucking
So,
that makes sense though, because it's like it's that like if you have you like busted out like a nasty ass saxophone solo? Could you do that?
today.
I
don't know about
that
that.
right now. Nah?
I don't know
Okay.
about
He's
today.
like, I don't know about
That'd be
today.
wild though. But like they got that like
a little
jazzy
bit.
feel to them. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
makes sense that's what you vibed with, like super
Mhm.
heavy, and that's that East Coast sound. You feel me? Like,
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
yeah, that's like that makes perfect sense,
True.
bro. Because
Right.
like
Jazzy.
and people
yeah.
don't really think about it, but like Outkast is like low key East Coast. You feel me? Like they're on the eastern side, right? So like it's one of those things where you can tell just kind of somebody's where they put their roots down. You feel me? So
Mhm.
like what they feel comfortable rapping over, what they feel comfortable listening to, and stuff like that.
True,
So
true.
like, you know, I got a question for you. So like one of my questions is what lessons do you wish that you would learn about performing? Because like rapping is a performance art, and you know you gotta bring a certain level of energy and a certain level of heat to it. So like what are one of those what's a few lessons that you wish you would learn before you had started?
Exercise straight up, because there was a few times I performed, I ran out of breath,
Ooh.
and you're trying to spit a verse and you're out of breath, that's the worst, man.
Right.
You're trying to like, shit don't sound right. Can I cuss on here?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro.
Okay.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, shit don't sound right when you're just out of breath, just trying to get it all out, and you can't even breathe, and it's just like, man, I need to work out more so I can just
I feel you. And
move around more and stuff like that, or adjust and like move around less, because certain artists get away with not moving around that much. Like Migos, I saw them live, they don't really move around that much compared to Travis Scott,
who's always jumping and
he's
crazy.
going nuts, you know. So it just depends on the kind of artist you are too. So I gotta find that balance. Some stuff, cause like moving forward, I got more chill stuff, so I'll be all right.
Yeah. So I just want to know, you know, just because like earlier we were talking about the spicy segment here, and you know, can you separate the art from the artist? And I know I definitely want to hear your take on that. How do you feel about separating the art from the artist? What's your opinion?
Personally, I've never like stopped bumping somebody because of something I heard. I definitely. Sometimes I think they do it. Sometimes I think they don't. I know y'all talking about R. Kelly. With R. Kelly, it's just like, I'm thinking he probably did that shit. Like,
We know he did it.
yeah, he did that shit. But it's like, you know, you avoiding that shit. I say on your wedding day, like step in the name of love. Like you're not bumping out on your wedding day. Like I'm sorry, like
something's wrong with you.
Reception time, you playing a couple R. Kelly joints in there. Like you know what I'm saying? It's just
real.
It's just real.
That's just
like,
real.
That's real.
There's certain tracks you just can't.
You can't miss.
You can't let go of. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? You gotta understand people make mistakes. So as long as he's trying to better himself, you know, be a better man, stop.
And have a better outlook on things than you would
stop
say.
doing it, you know what I'm saying?
Right. You know, just like having that kind of that, I mean, not really that sense of guilt, but that sense of, what's the word I'm looking for? That kind of, you just, like you said, just learning from your mistakes. You know what I mean? Just trying to grow as a person. And if you can't do that, then that, I mean, like that would turn me off of an artist. You feel me? Like that would probably turn me off of an artist for a really long time. But I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm not gonna play "Step in the Name of Love" on my birthday. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you.
I'm not gonna lie
That's just
either.
real. Like
I'm
I mean,
still
like
listening to "Step in the Name of Love" because
Yeah.
my auntie Nina played that on her wedding day, and I was there, and I was dancing, and I didn't care at the time, and I was young too. He could have got me at that time. He could have got me. But I didn't do nothing about it. But shit, EJ, I just want to know something real quick. Like, what is, you know, well, actually, let me take it back here. You said that you wanted to be a pastor. I'm still hung up on that because I know you said you listened to Biggie but when was like your big epiphany moment where you was like, nah, I don't want to be a pastor no more, and I'm gonna just let the music speak through me. That's gonna be my worship. When did you say that?
That was 2009.
Okay, this fly though. I'm gonna have to kill
I'm
it
for
before
real.
we gonna have to cut it out real quick before somebody gotta kill it. Somebody gotta kill it.
that motherfucker.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it was 2009, and basically I tried weed. Youth pastor found out, kicked me out.
Oh damn.
So I got kicked out of church basically, and so that was part of it. I was just like, man, there's more to the world, you know. Want to meet new people, see what they doing over there, that kind of thing. So it was around 2009 when I was like, kind of want to
expand your horizon.
Right,
it's
just
kinda,
do something
kinda,
different.
Yeah, I think that's when I transitioned to like I wanted to be Beyonce's drummer for a while.
Oh wow.
Like when she goes on tour and shit. Cause I was like, I was a drummer for 6 years, so I was like,
that's a dope ass dream.
Right.
I was getting
like,
heavy in it, yeah. So I was like, dang, I got to that point. I was like, I could do that. So it's like that was definitely a goal at one point.
Do you still drum?
I can. I don't have a drum set right now, but I can still drum, and I want to start making my own beats eventually. So
So you're very versatile. Like
want to
you,
use that, yeah.
so you do the saxophone, you rap, you play the drums. Like, what don't you do?
I wouldn't say I still do the saxophone. It's been years since I even owned a saxophone.
Really?
Like, a long ass time, but I feel like I could bust it back out, see what's up.
See what's
I might still got it. You never know.
bro. You never know.
Like
till
riding a bike,
you never
you know
know.
what I'm
Right,
saying?
you feel
Yeah.
me? Like, you never know till you get back
Until
on
you
that.
try.
Yeah.
You got to do some Anderson .Paak type shit and like hop behind the drums
Yeah,
and start
that's
just
smart.
going.
That's a smart idea. That's what I definitely should do.
That I mean, then you really got to work out then though.
Yeah.
That's a whole another thing.
I
You
got
feel
to.
me? Like that's a whole. That man's had to be like
Yeah.
breath control out the ass.
I
like,
know.
Like motherfuckers don't think about that shit when they start performing. They're not thinking like, oh well, like if I lose my breath in the middle of this, that like this next bar is not gonna have the same impact that I'm trying to bring to it. You feel me?
True.
So it's like you have to recognize that. And
Right.
like that's what people told me because like I back when I was like rapping, I did like a performance one time and I was smoking cigarettes heavy. I still do. That's why I'm not performing. But like you feel me? Like I was like hopped on the stage and I was going and I was oh shit, okay, all right, like I'm losing my breath, like I can't bring the same level of heat that I did 30 seconds ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's aggravating, bro. Like it's really like that shit.
It is.
And it's hard to hit certain notes too, like especially if you run out of breath. Because I mean, I've had moments in the studio where I'm just like I can't do it. It just becomes too much. So I really applaud you for that. Like, you know, that being one of the things like you want to work on, like your health and just, you know, getting that together because that's
Makes a
important.
difference,
You know,
yeah.
that goes right along with mental health. So
I read this thing today about Lizzo because like they were like think about it, like because she tours, she has like, let's say she does like 22 shows in a year. Let's do it. You're on stage for like an hour and a half to 2 hours each night, and this chick is dancing, singing, fucking fluting. She's
Going
a flautist,
crazy.
like going crazy on stage.
She got a flute?
Yeah, she
that
played the
was
flute.
like something that was
When she
that's her
first came out,
signature.
yeah, she was like, she hop on that flute and
Yeah.
like go crazy with it.
Damn.
Like fucking Will Ferrell in that fucking Anchorman movie. She go crazy with that shit.
right.
Like, but like they were like, yeah, like how's everybody like talking shit about homegirl like she's not healthy or something like that, like cause she fat. And it's like, bro, she could probably outrun your ass like stamina wise. Like she's on the motherfucking on the stage all night just
that's
doing
dope.
her thing. Like,
Right.
fuck
Just
with that.
because you plus size don't mean you ain't healthy.
Right.
Let's
Don't
get
mean
that
you can't do it.
misconception taken
Yeah,
care
no.
of. But yeah, so EJ, what would you say is what is your creative process when you go into the studio? Like when you go in there, are you thinking like I have a plan, like I'm gonna hit out A, B, C, D, or are you going there, you just vibing, and then once you catch that vibe, you're kind of like, okay, now I can make the music that I want to make versus just going in there with a plan. Like, how do you do it?
Well, it's how I want to do it ideally, and then how I do it right now. So there's two different versions. How I ideally, eventually, I want to do it's just like hang out in the studio all day, all night, just vibing, make my own beats or get beats sent over, people coming through with beats, just smoking, just make it right all there kind of thing.
Right.
But,
So just the all around, like,
yeah.
if I hear something, I like something, I'm rapping on it type shit.
So until I learn how to do it all myself, or just have somebody who's down to do that, I gotta kind of just like what I do now is like find the beats myself. I'll like somebody will send them to me, or I'd be on SoundClick.com. I don't know if y'all heard of that site.
SoundClick?
SoundClick.com.
That's
heard
not
of that.
familiar. I'm not familiar with SoundClick.
They got a lot of beats and stuff like that. Like all kinds of music on there, but
Is that the only website you use? Like, do you use anything like Beatstar?
yeah, I've used
YouTube?
Beatstars. Yeah.
Okay, so
Beatstars,
there's a couple.
YouTube, producers that found me on Instagram, and then send them my email, and they started emailing me beats, and I got a couple songs I'm dropping this year from beats from that. So
Okay,
that
so you
was
use
cool.
some producer beats off there.
From Instagram.
Okay,
yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool how they just find you like that.
Yeah, Instagram has some really great opportunities
Yeah.
on there. A lot of great beats. I found some great beats on there, so
Yeah,
it's really dope.
for sure. But yeah, then I just go over it, find one I like, download it, and I kind of start making it at my crib. And then once I get to the studio, it's already ready to go. Basically, I just gotta lay it down, a few takes, and I'm done, kind of thing. Cause
It's ready to order.
Mhm.
because
you already
engineers,
chefing up.
charging by the hour. And
So you
Right.
got a limited amount of time that you're.
Yeah,
able
I
to
can't
do
just
that
hang
kind of
out and
Right.
smoke because it's like, yeah, we're charging you for that. Like,
Right.
So,
shit. Yeah.
And are you one of those
Yeah.
artists that like to have a lot of people, like your trio, when you're in there, or do you like to just be alone? And,
I'm usually alone.
okay.
Yeah.
So you really like to just be alone in your music and on the mic. You don't like to have a lot of people in the studio, because personally, I hate having hella people in the studio when I'm trying to create my process, because I know it's going to be a distraction for me. So I try to lessen that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I can't really. Yeah, I can't really imagine a bunch of people in there. I've always had just me and the beat.
Or the artist that you're working with.
Or the artist
Right.
I'm working with, and just the booth basically. Like, but I don't know if I would mind that necessarily if people want to come through. You know what I'm saying? As long as they quiet and stuff. Like, I don't think I would mind.
Right. That's really cool,
if they
EJ.
chill with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really cool.
I don't. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off or anything.
No, I just said thank you.
Oh. No, so like my thing is like if it makes sense though, cause like I feel like a lot of these artists that walk in with like all their entourage and shit, that's like that's a flex. You know what I mean? Like that's not really like you ain't adding anything, bro. Like you just another mouth to feed when everybody starts asking like, what are we eating for lunch? You feel me? Like, oh, let me hit the L real quick.
You just want to be
like,
seen.
right?
That's
You know what I
it.
mean? Like that's just a flex.
Right.
And it's like that to me. That's not conducive to your creative pride unless it is. You know what I mean? Like unless you got people around you who are like that's day ones who they kind of get the creative juices flowing. Like that's cool, but when you have a bunch of people come into the studio, I feel like it should be like if you hopping on this beat with me, bro, you can be here. But if you're not, kick rocks. Like that's what would make the most sense to me, at least, and I think that would be the most productive aspect of like out of those two. So I agree with you in the sense that like what you want to do versus like what you do now based on like what you have to be doing because how they're charging you, and like you can't just go there and kick it and cool and just be calm and jam. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because like the cats who have their own studios, those are some lucky motherfuckers.
Yeah, because most engineers they try to live off of it. Like out here, like that's how they pay their rent. And so you're dealing with people where that's their livelihood is recording cats. So it's like they can't just have you just in there all day just smoking.
Like as much as we would love to just be in the studio.
And, as much as that sounds good for me, and that's definitely the move, eventually. But it's as of right now. I come ready.
I see.